Welcome, survivors, burnout community, and those just interested. It's Kelly Bubolz, trainer, author, speaker, and your burnout prevention mentor. Burnout is not taboo. It's our reality in this chaotic, fast-paced world. But we're not going to let it drive the narrative to our stories. We're going to do something about it, so let's dig in. I was working with a team the other day in the workforce on energy management. And the first step of this is just kind of dissecting and brainstorming where the drainers are. We start hitting the low-hanging fruits so people can get a little bit of energy back for this journey. Because as the programs continue and we keep evolving with new tools, they're going to need some energy along the way. They're going to need a little bit of hopium back that this process is working. Proof of progress, as they say. What I have found is there is so much noise, so many things that we are doing that are unnecessary, that over time we have added, but we have not removed. That this world is changing at a fast pace, technology is moving at a fast pace, and we have not given such space to keep up. We keep doing things, but we don't allow time for execution. We need change, but we don't allow time for brainstorming. We need this project to get done, but we haven't identified the steps and the appropriate team to do so. So one thing we talk about as we dissect through all these sheets of to-dos and functions and projects is identify what is noise. And I'm going to take some of these pieces and apply it to your life, where you can utilize some of this to start to bring space, start to bring time. The top two hangups and hurdles in the workforce is energy management and time management. But in order to have more time, we need less. Less is more. And what this does is it reduces that chaos and makes room to thrive, makes room for the energy, makes room for hobbies and identity again. And we can use this as a compass along our journey to guide us back to energy and out of this zombie mode. We can strip away the non-essential things, the things we don't need to do that have somehow ended up on our plates. Whether it was societal expectations or our own expectations or how we were brought up, we start stripping some of these things away. And it allows us to focus on what matters. And that, ironically, makes us more effective. It brings more clarity. This isn't just about minimalism and possessions and the things we own. It's about what we focus on and the things that matter to you, feeding our internal energy. The reason why we get so misaligned internally and externally is the noise, all the things. Reducing this mind load is going to reduce that decision fatigue, which we're going to talk about in a few episodes. So make sure that you follow and subscribe to grab up that tool. I want to talk about a little bit about some of the fatigue I got from all the noise after a long morning of young kids and babies up all night, signing on early for work. Then I get to work, run around. By the time I get home, I'm done. Someone asks me what's for dinner, and I want to scream. I want to go silent sometimes. Sometimes I don't want to be here. I want to pack my bag and disappear. What's for dinner? I have no idea. I've made a million decisions today. I don't know. There's food in the fridge. There's food in the cabinet. I would just be staring there, not knowing what's going on. What to do next? That mind load from all the noise, all morning, all day, and I can't even find out what to eat. Do you feel that? that exhaustion, the energy drain. That's why less is more. It allows you to enjoy these little things of life that present us, like what to eat, how to enjoy each other's company, how to be present. It's not just about what's for dinner. It's that I have drained myself externally to others, externally in all the decisions through the day, giving away energy to the noise that by the time I get to a moment that could be special for our family, that could be a moment with my kids that changes their narrative, I don't want to be there anymore. I don't even know what to do. It's like a numbness, a checking out, that isolation feeling. So allowing this space, allowing you to go on the steps of less is more, will invest deeper and more present moments in your life, small and large. There are times now from this less is more steps that I've taken where we're eating outside on the patio and I just watch my kids giggle. I watch them make their food into different shapes and animals and make their food come back to life. Watching their little creative minds take this dinner meal into play. Watching them run around the grass pretending. Smelling the air, allowing my senses to explore. And suddenly off of that, more space appears. Because again, the energy naturally follows where it thrives. It brings more space for creativity and energy. So hopefully by now I've have you sold on this space. But in order to get space, you have to do less. And that is a hard lesson most of us have to learn because there's many factors in play here. There's many forces in this world that will keep you from having less. The first thing you can do is declutter your space. Declutter your space at home. Declutter your garage. Declutter your workspace, your desk. All that noise. All those distractions, not knowing what priority you should do today. What you should do next. All the noise in those spaces causing decision fatigue. Decluttering your space brings an environment of focus, or it doesn't seem so noisy and disorganized. You do the one thing, and then you do the next thing, and that's it. No decision fatigue. No distractions from your goals. No side projects and endless amount of workload at home. Declutter your space. I took the dramatic approach on this as my kids went from baby to toddlers, and I took 8 truckloads to a thrift store of toys and baby mechanic things. All the things that were hand-me-downs, rummages that I thought they needed, and all they wanted to do was play with worms and sticks. Certainly they have their toys. They have the kid things. But now I have less. And it allowed space because I don't have to clean up toys and mess constantly. It allowed space in the room, and all of us could be more creative instead of being so crammed. Declutter your space. The next step would be RSVP to less. Like I said, with 3 kids, there's lots of birthday parties. There's lots of sports and activities. There's families and friends we have to travel to. We live in rural Midwest, so we have to travel approximately 2 hours to get to family and friends. That can get tedious weekend after weekend when we already had an exhausting work week. So we started RSVPing to less. And there were some people that were mad. But then there's some people that weren't. And we realized in the end, no one really cares. There's people that you need to see in your life because they help you thrive. It's important to you. Make time for them. Everything else is noise. Prep food. If you're making food, and we home cook a lot just for money, just because I have a lot of allergies after my burnout collapse, it's just more affordable in general for a family of 5 and kids that constantly eat to cook at home. We prep en masse. So that means if I'm cooking a lasagna, I cook 2 and I freeze 1. If I'm cooking food, I'm making leftovers. Because on that night that we have sports, on that night that we're running around, on that night where someone says, "What's for dinner?" we have leftovers. Again, bringing simplicity, bringing simple recipes into our life so that we don't have to fight it. So I don't have to create another battle in an already stressful day. Another step, which we go through in previous episodes, as in the delegation episode, is transferring responsibilities. You don't need to do it all. You don't need to be the person for everything and everyone. Go check out the delegation steps episode to learn how to delegate and transfer those responsibilities. And then the last step is reducing multitasking. I'm definitely an offender of multitasking, and it comes out of productivity guilt. That if I'm not doing 2 things at once, I'm not doing it fast enough. But the interesting thing about multitasking is you're doing low quality work. You're causing and feeding that decision fatigue. Time block it out. Get rid of all the distractions and open screens and open emails and focus. Work on one task, close it out, and open up your email again. Work on one task, put everything else away, and when you're done, bring out the other things. What's your next priority? Do you see how clean and clear that becomes? Do you see that decision fatigue going away? Do you feel that chaos and survivorship mode melting away into space and energy? Through the simple steps of just decluttering your space and not going to as many things, double prepping those foods and making easy recipes, transferring those responsibilities and delegating, and then reducing the multitasking, less is more. That decision fatigue starts to reduce. Space begins to appear and allows creativity and energy to resurface. Take this in steps. Take this in phases. Do one room and then another. Do one meal and then another. One event and then another. And you will start to see space and time appear. You will start to see clarity in the direction that you need to go. You'll start to feel energy and wake up a little more alive every day. Because less is more. I know you're not lazy. Most people in burnout are high performers, those serving others before themselves. Don't discount this step today, the action in which you focus on your self-growth. Piecing together the puzzle is half the journey. Rediscovering yourself, energy, and establishing new habits is the other. Do not underestimate the untapped inner strength inside you. Explore more resources on my website to move from zombie mode back to liveliness. See you soon.